Hello and welcome to the Long Island Weather Report. We definitely have more precipitation starting across our area. A little bit of very light snow now changing over to light rain. Actually started to change to rain as I was getting back around 9 o'clock. So we're not going to really expect much accumulation here on Long Island. But first, let's talk about the storm we had overnight, last night into this morning. And not a whole lot with it. Connecticut got 2 inches. Middlesex County, so most of New Jersey, Connecticut got like around 2 inches with that. Bergen County, 1.5 inches. Not a whole lot in North Jersey. Bronx, 1.3. Brooklyn, 2 inches. Nassau County, the South Shore seeing the higher amounts, 2.4 inches in Merrick. Herrick's 1.8. And Manhattan, Central Park got 1.5 inches. JFK got 1.8 inches. Richmond County, 1.6 inches. In Suffolk County, a little bit more out there, though. North Babylon got 3.2 inches, so I'm a little surprised by some of these amounts. 3.1 inches in Sayville. Comac, 3 inches. Ridge, 3 inches. Islip, 2.8 inches. Upton, 2.5 inches. So a little bit higher than I was expecting. A little bit. I guess we got a little more precipitation. Maybe it was a little further north. Very hard to predict these things, as you know. Let's take a look at Jersey as well and see. Let's see. They've got snowfall reports. Let's see if they've got any summary. Here we go. So we'll click on this link here, and this is the link here from. We'll take a look at. I'm just going to look at New Jersey on this. Let's find New Jersey here. Ocean County. So Tuckerton, that's South Ocean County, 6.2 inches. Toms River got 5.5. So yeah, overperformed a little bit. Beechwood, 5.1 inches. Another report of 5 inches in Toms River. I think it was going to be more like 3 inches in Toms River. But you got to remember, so I was about 0.2 off on the liquid. All right, that's not much. So you got to remember, so it was a little bit off. But I'm not surprised that they got the higher amounts in Toms River, 5 inches. Obviously, that area wound up getting a little more. Go into Monmouth County. Neptune got 4.3 inches. Freehold, 3.5 inches. So yeah, that's when as you make your way further north, it's less. So that's pretty much what we got. We'll look at our climate statistics at Islip, and we'll see a high. We had a high of 36 and a low of 32. Very little bit of range in the temperatures here. So we were still 1 degree above normal and 4 degrees below normal on the high, but 7 degrees above normal on the low. And we've got 1.52 inches of liquid equivalent for the month of February, so it's a little bit above normal. And snowfall has month to date 6.3 inches, so we're a little bit above normal on the snowfall. But since December 1st, only 11.1 inches of snow. Normally, we'd have closer to 20, so still below normal snowfall for the season. But we are trying to make up for that, obviously, with these little storms. And maybe some bigger ones down the pipeline that I'm not going to bring up next week. I'm not even going to talk about the weekend. We're just going to talk about the rest of this week in this weather report. Let's go look at our current conditions outside. And yeah, I forgot to put the weather and hazards map up. That's nice. So let's do that. And you'll see severe weather in the south going on, even one tornado warning, tornado watches in the south. Not an issue for us. It's mainly for the south. Let's go and, focus on our area. But I guess we can go back to that radar. I'll put the radar back up on the screen so we get an overall look at the system that's impacting us. But let's go look at our current temperatures. Temperatures have risen. It's 36 right now. Temperatures are rising. Light rain and light snow mix is being reported at Islip. So that's pretty much what we're getting now. And you can see a little bit of light rain being reported around 8:32. Cloudy skies all day. And temperatures have pretty much been stuck in the mid-30s for much of the day with easterly winds. Though it does seem to feel a little bit warmer out now compared to the way it was earlier. And the temperatures are up into the upper 30s in Jersey, but again, not a big range in temperatures. We have several hazards in effect. Coastal flood statements, a coastal flood advisory, and a gale warning because of the wind tomorrow, so we'll have to talk about that as well. So let's take a look at our system again. So this is our system. You can see there's like several pieces of it. We have this one piece over us, and this is the second piece that's going to come in and bring some of the heavier rain, probably the first part of tomorrow, Thursday. And you can see the thunderstorms here that are in Louisiana right now. And this is the northern part. You're getting snow if you're in Toronto. You're getting all snow up there. You're going to get snow up in Plattsburgh. No rain there. It'll all be snow for you. I think so. Well, when we look at the models, we'll see. But I'm pretty sure it will be all snow for you. But we are going to be getting into that rain for sure. Let me look at the lightning detection here. Lightning. Where is it? Oh, it's over here. Okay, so yeah, look at all the lightning strikes. Man, gosh. This time of the year, very unusual to see that. Very, very unusual to see. That's a lot of lightning right there. That's in Alabama. So, yeah, just weird. But this is the new normal we're in with the climate, so not a surprise. Looking at the weather map, see the systems here that we've got over us. Stall front, parade of low pressure systems bringing us some rain. Looking at the surface analysis, you can see again, there's your stall front. Got two low pressure systems. One center here, that's bringing us the light precipitation tonight. And then this center here, which will be passing by and bringing us the heavier precipitation tomorrow morning. So taking the satellite, obviously plenty of clouds. Let's go to the CONUS view. You can see here's your storm system. And look at that fetch from the Pacific and now the Gulf. So all that moisture obviously being brought up. And there's some pretty warm air that is being brought up ahead of that. And you can see where they are getting the severe weather. Temperatures are very warm for this hour. 72 at Troy, dew point 66. So this is like summer humidity here. And if you're in Florida, boy, it's even warmer there. Boca Raton, 75. Dew point 72, they got up to 84, so real humid conditions. Not something you usually see. I mean, Florida is warm, but it's usually not humid in the summer. It's usually warm and dry. But again, this is the climate we are in, as we are dealing with living in a warmer world. So let's go take a look at this system here on the models. And actually, before I go there, I just want to go and take a look, because we're almost in the middle of the month. Well, I'm not going to do it yet. I could do it, I guess. Now I got to go into this, though, so that's the problem with this. So I got to find where the climate information is, which they make very hard to access. Climate information, observed weather. We got to go in here. We got to go into the. I mean, it's not that. Oh, great! I'm in Mount Holly. Awesome. I don't know how that happened. Let's try that again. Mount Holly makes it easier to find, but. I'm wasting your time. We'll do it another time. It's okay. We gotta go get this storm out. I'll talk about it maybe at the end of the video. So let's look at the model here. Here's the GFS. Obviously, here comes the rain. Gonna be a nice, steady rain. Hopefully, wash away most of the snow cover. And then for your Friday, Valentine's Day, yeah, look at those isobars bunching up. We're gonna have some wind to deal with on Friday as that high builds over. It'll be chillier. And then as the weekend comes, that high kind of moves away, and we'll deal with the next storm system, which I'm not going to bring up in this weather video. So let's look at the HRRR model. First, I just wanted to see how the temperatures were running this month, that's all. But, we'll do it. It's not quite the middle of the month yet. I'll do that more on the weekend, I think. So you can see that mostly light precipitation. But the precipitation gets heavier as we head into Thursday morning. There'll be some showers with some heavier rain. I think this is underdone. Considering the HRRR underdid the last system, I think there's going to be a little more rain coverage than this and more intensity. But the HRRR has it out of here by 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock, it should be mostly gone. And then we have the colder air building in. That we'll be building in. You can see those isobars getting closer together, which means we'll be dealing with some wind too with this. Dew points and wind flow. We'll look at this, and then I'm going to look at some of the other models here. So, yeah, the east winds, they're going to become more southerly as we head into tomorrow morning. That's going to bring in warmer air, get the temperatures up quite a bit. So that should hopefully, between the rain and that and the warm air, and it'll be a breezy condition too. So that should hopefully eat a lot of that snow and ice cover away. The ice is really what I don't like, and that's what we got to get rid of. And then because the ice is slippery, it's hard to walk on. It's not fun. So you see that dew points don't really start coming down. There is a lag until after like 8, 9 o'clock, and then we start seeing that colder air pour in, and those dew points drop quite low on Friday. Northwest winds and dew points down to the teens. So this will be a chilly air mass. Not really Arctic air. The real Arctic air is coming next week. We'll talk about that Sunday. And then here's the temperatures tonight. So you see the temperatures are going to be rising through the 30s, into the 40s, perhaps even as warm as 50 degrees, perhaps, by the afternoon. Even though that front comes through, there'll be a little bit of a lag behind for the cold air to come in. The temperatures really won't drop to the 30s until after 8 o'clock, and they won't drop below freezing until probably after midnight. And then by morning on Friday, you're going to deal with temperatures in the mid-20s, and then for Friday, your highs are going to make it to the mid-30s. I think this is a little underdone. With the temperatures. So let's look at, that's what the HRRR looks like. We can look at just briefly some soundings if we want to look at the skies. Tomorrow we'll be stuck in the clouds, but as we head into Friday, we'll pick midday here. I'm looking at a sounding over Suffolk County here. It is showing cloud coverage here, so I'm really hoping Friday would be a clear day. If I move it over to New Jersey, it's showing a little less cloud coverage, so it is showing some cloud coverage. Those lines are fairly close together. That stratocumulus problem again that we often have here. Just for fun, I'm going to stick this over Plattsburgh. Yeah, it looks a little bit better over there. It's going to be cold there. It's going to be cold. The time Plattsburgh's going to be like 9 degrees with the day. But let's look at some of the other models. With the NAM, I feel definitely underestimating the precipitation. So let's go and look at the NAM instead. The NAM, I think, is a little more realistic here. We're going to have some heavier bouts of rain and showers. But they will wrap up by 1 o'clock or so. And then the drier air comes into the picture here. And for Friday, you can see the lake effect. So this is what we have to watch, that lake effect. That darn lake effect stuff that we're going to have to watch and see if we get any debris from that, if that keeps cloud coverage around or not. Now, as far as total accumulated precip goes for this event, we'll go ahead and look at the NAM first. It has around a half an inch of liquid for us, a decent amount of rain. And if we go to the HRRR, here's the HRRR, let's see. Yeah, it's got less. I think this is underdone. I really do. I think we'll have a half an inch of liquid from this storm. That's what I'm thinking at this point. And then we will hopefully have sunshine for Friday. So it's mostly going to be a rain event for us. Let's go and look at some of the other things here. We'll look at the clouds on the GFS here, as well as the temperatures. We'll first start with the clouds. So the clouds, obviously, you can see clear out, and then hopefully you can see there's like a little bit of a lake effect thing here that kind of sets up and might go over Long Island. It might not. This is all because the lakes are supposed to be frozen. If we go to Earth Null School and we look at the water temperatures, I'm sure it'll show the lake temperatures are above normal, despite all the cold we've had. So ocean SST anomaly, it shows them are normal, but there should be ice on the lake. But look at the Gulf. That's way above normal. So you have some really above normal. And that's what I think this storm is tapping into and causing the severe weather in the south. That's what it looks like on the GFS as far as the temperatures go. We'll go as far as the cloud covers go, we'll look at the temperatures here on the GFS. Again, maybe a tad underdone, mid-30s. But again, if there's a lot of clouds, that might tendency to hold the temperatures down on Saturday. But it will be much colder on Saturday, obviously. On Friday, I should say. Friday, Valentine's Day. I don't know what it is with me. I feel totally fine. Then I get back in this place and I get this headache and my mind starts. I tell you something, there's no air in this place. I didn't want to bring it up in the video, but it's like every night I come home and I just feel sick for a little bit. And I got to open the windows, put a bunch of fans on, cool this place now. Anyway, let's get the RGM, the sky cover. Sorry I'm making mistakes. It just sometimes this happens with me. So here's the RGM. Obviously, not going to see much sun tomorrow. Maybe a little bit toward the end of the day. And then for Friday, looking at the models here, you can see it. The RGM has Long Island mostly clear. We'll have to watch for some of that cirrus that might come in like toward 3 o'clock, coming in from the southwest over Jersey. But I'm hoping we'll have a mostly sunny day Friday. I really do. But we will have some wind to deal with. So let's look at one of the other models in the NAM. Let's go ahead in the NAM. I mean, the NAM seems to have it okay for us as well. So you can see that streamer. So I'll have to see. It looks like it's east of us. So hopefully, it may just be an issue for the forks. So hopefully, we'll have a better idea tomorrow. I think at this point, right now, it's sky cover. The clouds very hard to forecast. Very hard, especially lately. It seems. It used to be very cut and dry when I was younger. Cold front moved through, you'd have sunshine, you wouldn't have that many clouds. Now, because of the climate changing, it's different and it's harder to forecast. One more model I want to look at for the rainfall for overnight. This is the HDRPS. Let's look at this and see what this shows. So it does have some pretty heavy rain in the morning. Because of that, there's a coastal flood advisory, but you also have to watch out for flooding because we have the snow melting and the ice melting, this high water content, and if you're in an area that has poor drainage, I wouldn't be surprised if you do see some localized flooding of roadways and perhaps even some flash flooding. I'm surprised they didn't issue a regular. They did not issue a regular. It's all coastal, but there could be. May have to watch out for some flooding here as well, where they have that icy snowpack, where there's poor drainage. The rain won't be torrential, but it's going to be raining pretty steadily and occasionally heavy in the morning. Let's see what the HDRPS has for total accumulated precip. Yeah, it's a little bit lower. I'm thinking more toward that half inch, so I think the NAM is closer to what we're going to see here. Now, let's talk about the wind. Go over to Ventu Sky, because we're going to be dealing with some wind tomorrow. Once this front moves through, let's move it over to Thursday here. And wind gusts here. It's not that bad. It's not going to be until the front comes through. It's not like we're going to have an LL. Well, winds from the south are pretty strong here. Are we going to have an LLJ? That is the question. The rain will be done by this time, I think. All right, I'm going to have to go back over to this now. All right, this is the HRRR it's using. Let's go to the HRRR. We're over here. HRRR. Let's go to the winds above the surface here. Do we have... Yeah. Let's take a look at this for tomorrow. 0Z run. See, I don't think there's going to be any LLJ. Well, no. It's mostly with the front. I don't think it's an LLJ, but you see that there are some strong winds. So, when we look at these winds here, you see pretty strong. And if we change the level, is this the one model I can change the level in? No, wind speed. If I go to wind speed, yeah. Let's go to 850. Oh, boy. Yeah, that's some pretty strong winds. So, yeah, mostly from the west, but there is some wind shear here. So you have very strong winds from the west. But at aloft, you have a west-southwest wind here. Pretty strong, I might add. This is 850, so this is 5,000 feet. If we go to, let's go to 1,600 feet. You see the wind shear going on, though. There's a southwest wind or a west-southwest wind here. But if we go down to the surface, the winds are from the south. So there's some wind shear here. And if there's precipitation around, showers, I don't think there are going to be any thunderstorms, but any strong shower or thunderstorm could pull in some of these winds. And honestly, we'll just do wind shear. There's a lot of wind shear. So there could be flight delays because of this. But also, this could lead to some really strong gustiness. And dare I say it, I know, people are going to think, John, you are absolutely nuts. But I wouldn't be surprised if there might be an isolated tornado or water spout with that kind of wind shear around. If a thunderstorm develops. That's if a thunderstorm develops. But this is a lot of wind shear here. And you got to remember, this is the same storm system that is creating all the severe weather in the south. So this is the same storm system, all right, that we're going to be getting tomorrow morning. So, yeah, we're going to have to watch out for these winds. During the afternoon, it looks like they quiet down a little bit. So the winds pick up in the morning a little bit here. You can see some of these wind gusts here, 32. Why we don't have a wind advisory in effect for tomorrow, I have no idea, but there really should be one. 31, 32 mile an hour winds here. And you can see the winds are going to be up through the night here. You can see off to the west, we definitely have some 40 mile an hour wind gusts here. And this is the HRRR model. This is the HRRR. So if I change it to another model, like, let's go ahead and look at the European. Actually, this does show the European. European showing 26. Doesn't have the NAM here. Doesn't have the NAM here. Does it have the NAM? Doesn't have the NAM. No, it doesn't. GFS. This is the GFS. We'll look at windy.com as well. I'm concerned about the winds tomorrow. All right, I think that everybody's kind of understating it at this point, and that's a bit of a problem. So either way, the winds do shift to the west in the afternoon. They get gusty. We'll have some gusts, and like I said, I wouldn't be surprised to see some 40-plus mile-an-hour gusts, perhaps. Why is the wind so much stronger over here than over Long Island? That doesn't seem to make any sense to me. So I think these gusts of 42 might be more over the whole entire area, which is why I think we need that wind advisory. And then even as we head into tomorrow night, we're still dealing with the winds pretty strong. As the temperatures drop, we have some strong cold air advection. And then even Friday morning, we're still going to be dealing with some winds here, gusting to 34 miles an hour. And then, I don't think we need a wind advisory for all of Friday, but the morning possibly. And that wind is definitely, with those temperatures being colder, you can see temperatures are only going to be in the 30s, mid-30s, so it's going to feel pretty chilly with that wind. And let's see, this actually does show as clouds, so let's go ahead and look at this for fun here. So it does show a lot of clouds over Long Island here, and not so many over New Jersey. We'll have to see. So we're going to have to watch for that stratocumulus problem again for Friday. We'll have to see if we have it or not. But let me go to windy.com, which is the other model we can use here, and let's see what we've got going on here on this. So this is the windy.com model. We'll shift this over to wind gusts. This is the sustained. This is not the gusts. You hear the gusts. So European not showing anything too crazy, but you can see as what happens toward the evening. If we don't need the wind advisory would definitely be needed later in the showing some gusts. So I think you need a wind advisory. Right through Friday morning, probably. And look at this, Friday, 9 a.m., we still got wind gusts pretty strong. And they still don't die down. By 3 o'clock, we got winds gusting into the 30s. So, oh, man. So we're going to be dealing with some wind for next. I know this whole winter we've been dealing with so much wind. So that's what this is showing on this. And as far as cloud cover goes, we'll just take a look at this. Obviously, we'll have a better idea tomorrow what's going to happen. But, they may be dealing with some. It looks like it's less cloudy over Jersey. That's what it's looking like right now. Long Island needs to have more clouds. It's just not what I want to hear. But I guess even the weather is trying to tell me something. You know what it's trying to tell me? Shut up and go to New Jersey. Let's go back to the winds and look at the other model, the NAM. Let's see how the NAM has the wind for tomorrow. This looks a little different. Look at the NAM. Wow, look at what's going on offshore here. Yikes. That's a little disturbing. So the NAM, I don't usually use this because it tends to overdo it a little bit, but this just gives you an idea that the wind is going to be an issue tomorrow, and it's going to be an issue for at least for part of Friday. So everybody else is really understating this, but we're going to have some windy conditions. So at least it'll help dry things out after that rain, and hopefully things don't get too muddy. I guess the wind will blow dry everything out a little bit, but that's what it's looking like right now. So we'll have to watch and see what happens, but I am really surprised that they should really have that wind advisory in effect. Let's just go to the Storm Prediction Center as well, because you can see all that enhanced risk there, and then it's all surrounded by a marginal risk. Let's move this into tomorrow and just see. Curiosity. What I'm looking for day 2. This is day 3. Where's day 2? This is day 1. Where's day 2? Day 2 convective outlook. Let's see. Yeah, not even close to us, but we're going to have to watch because this is a storm system that is definitely pretty strong and causing a lot of severe weather. So it has a history of doing that, and it could wind up making its way further north than expected. So we'll keep an eye on that threat, obviously, but it's going to be a wet morning tomorrow, and we're going to have to watch again for wind shear related delays at your airports. Again, this whole storm has got to look like it just wants to have that severe weather just wants to expand northward a little bit. We're going to have to watch that for tomorrow. Probably not for severe thunderstorms, but wind, yeah, I think we're going to be dealing with that for tomorrow. And wind advisories probably should be issued for tomorrow, at least tomorrow afternoon through Friday morning. So that wraps things up here. Have a good night. And be careful tomorrow because it's going to be very wet all over the place in the morning. There's going to be a lot of flooding as that snow washes away, especially if we get that heavy rain. So we'll have to see what happens. But you can see plenty of rain down the pike here coming. And let's just move this over here. Yeah, you can see the rain. And the heavier rain is actually off to the south. So if we keep moving this south, you can see the heavier. You got to keep going down to the southwest here. Keep going southwest. You can see over here. We move this up, move this off a little bit more here. The right, be able to see. Yeah, look at this. So this is the stuff that we have here. See these yellows here? That's the stuff that we're going to be dealing with. Whatever's left of those thunderstorms. Yeah. There's a nice little look at the radar here. You can see that. So be careful. It's going to be a wet morning, I think. And I think they're underestimating how bad it's going to be. So it's going to be a mess tomorrow morning, and then we get the wind later on. But it's still going to be mild, and then the chill comes in for Friday. So have a good night.